Hi there, it's Pete the Hipster King from the Hairy Game Lords, and this evening we have been playing this Tranquility Part 2, The Ascent from Board Game Hub. What did we think? Stay tuned to find out. If you've played Tranquility before, you will know what a great game it is. We absolutely loved that when we got to play that. You're playing out the wonderfully, beautifully designed cards, and you're trying to get from 0 up to 100 within the grid. This takes that idea and I would say knocks it out the park, creating an even better game. I've played this a number of times now, and it comes with a whole load of modules, so you've got loads of replayability, and this is an absolute brilliant sequel. It does what a lot of films don't do and create something that is better than the first movie. Definitely check this out, get behind it on Kickstarter, and I will let other people tell you all about the gameplay this time.
Slightly Billy James here, and I'm going to tell you about the rules because I wrote the rulebook for this one. Not the rulebook, I laid out the graphics. And okay, so in this game you are working together cooperatively in silence. The whole idea of Tranquility is that you are working to the same goal. In this game we're climbing a mountain, scaling the mountain, but you can't communicate about what's in your hand. You're going to have 5 cards each, and you're going to be playing down different colours and numbers. So there's 3 colours, and there are numbers from 1 up to 12. Now, as you're building, you're going to be building from one side of the mountain, starting at the bottom, and almost like growing the mountain up. The way that it gets tricky is you can't put the same colour next to the same colour. You can't build upwards if you've got nothing to hold it up underneath. And I can't remember the other ones. One of the most important things about this is as you're putting down, oh yeah, that's it. You can't build numbers above the level it's on. So 1 has to stay on the first level of the mountain. If you
Can I put a big number on the first level?
Yeah, if you really wanted to, you could start with 12s on the bottom, because it's fine. You're only going to get up to like 8 levels up.
What about the gorillas?
The gorillas, there are no gorillas, Dave. Don't worry, Dave. And then finally, you put down your summit at the top. Awesome. As you are playing your numbers down, you're going to play them next to each other like this. So, for example, 5 next to a 4. That means you're going to be spending one of your cards to do that. So there's a difference of 1. And I would then choose one of my cards to discard in order to play that. Now, this game is very clever in how it has the kind of that multi-use of the cards, in that you're trying to make sure you've got the right cards for building, but then you also have to pay with your cards to put them down. If you put the same number next to the same number, for example 4 next to a 4, you don't have to pay anything. But likelihood of you having the same number that you exactly need is quite slim. Now, a few of my thoughts on this game. I think this game is better than the first one. I think it's cleverer. I think it's quicker. I've played this 1 player, 2 player, 4 player, and at first when we got it out for 4 players, we were like, oh my goodness, this is going to take forever because there's 4 of us. But actually, after our learning game, we blitzed it. Goes really quick. We knew what we were doing, and we had a great time as well. So yeah, I'll let the other guys tell you a bit more about what some of the challenges that come along with it as well, because there's goats and all kinds. But this game is definitely one to watch out for because it's really good. Not often, like people say, you don't often get a game that surpasses the original. But this, you should really check it out.
Hi, Dave the Grey here, and Tranquility the Ascent. Now, I'll be honest with you, the first Tranquility, I've played a few times with these guys, but it's very, to me, I find it very much. It's a nice sort of version of Patience, basically, as Tranquility. And I think once you know the group, it's kind of just more an exercise in laying cards down because you all know how you think. And I don't find it much of a game, for want of a better word. This, however, feels like a game, and it is challenging. I think Tranquility, once you know each other and how far ahead you're going to go with your cards, you can pretty much play it by rote. There's loads of different challenges in there. Getting goats up the mountain, getting a little green fella up the mountain through a path, all of which we managed to fail horribly at, as well as getting to the top of the mountain.
We were not. We were one card away from
Sorry,
winning
we were
all three challenges in one go. We were one card away.
We were
one card.
It was my fault.
We were one card away from completing. I think we did the panoramas fairly early doors, which is laying 6, 7, 6 particular cards in the right order. We did that fairly early doors. Happy days, easy. Yeah, we're gamers. We know what we're doing. Fantastic, I hear you say. How could it get any harder? You've got to get this little green fella from the bottom up a little path purely made out of green cards. We nearly did that. I'll come to that in a minute. You've also got to get goats in a little herd from the bottom all the way to the top. We nearly did that. I'll come to it in a minute. You also have to get to the top of the mountain. Now then, you lay your cards out in orders, and it actually is really challenging anyway. The most challenging bit, however, is to get to the top of the mountain, you need to have the top of the mountain card. If you don't have the top of the mountain card, you can't get to the top of the mountain. Your little green fella goes all the way up his little green path and goes, hang on, where's the top of the mountain gone? There doesn't appear to be a top of the mountain. And the goats are just stood around looking stupid because they've come 3/4 of the way up the mountain and there isn't a top.
Where was the top?
The top? Now then, I think Peter had 5 tops of the mountain that he discarded.
Of the 5.
That he discarded at regular intervals throughout the game.
I just assumed somebody else would hold on to theirs. It's a fair
So,
assumption.
we did really well, and all the way through it, fantastic. Oh, I'm nearly out of cards. Are we going to make it? Yes, we can make it. We just need to lay the summit of the... I haven't seen a summit all game. Have you seen a summit? I've had one, in my starting card. Where did all the summit... Have they been left out of the deck? And Pete's just there going... We needed summits. Who knew? So yeah, it was all Pete's fault. Is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, if you found Tranquility a bit tranquil, for want of a better word, this feels like a proper game. Lots of different ways of playing it. All of them equally challenging. And the artwork's still really nice, which I'm sure Ange will have a few words to say about. But no, Tranquility for me, a little bit dull. This really hurts your brain quite a lot, and I cannot help but recommend it. So 2 thumbs up from me.
Bearded lady here, and so what I like about Tranquility, the first one, is the artwork. And in fact, I think I prefer the artwork to the first one. It feels like more kind of... It feels like more kind of... I don't know, there's more colour in it. So these are a little bit more kind of... I don't know, almost like washed out or pastel-y. But the other one... So Tranquility has like some stronger, bolder colours. And almost a kind of like smoothness to the art, which I really like. Having said that, the artwork in this game is still up there and still really, really good. And there's still lots of little things to look for in each and every card, if that's what you like to do. There are these cards that will feature in the game. They don't have a number on there, but they do have a little fireplace. So what you do with this card is that you replace a green card from anywhere with the fire, and then you can move that other green card up. And he's got a nice bearded chap on there. Good times. You also have these bridge cards, which can be very useful if you can't play down a card in a well, if you say, for instance, there's like a 5 down, and maybe you've got another red card which you won't be able to play there, or maybe you've got a 9, and that means that you would have to discard 4 cards. You're
Good
just
maths.
thanks, quick maths.
He did have to think though.
Did yeah? I did, of course, I had to think.
Shoes and socks off.
They're off. Then you might not want to do that. So you could place down this instead. What happens is it kind of like fills the gap for a temporary part. Somebody else or yourself later on needs to go back and fill over that bridge, but it just bides you a little bit of time in the game. What else is there? There are goat cards. Have we got any goat? Here we go. Here's a goat card. This is what the... there we go. We've got the little goat on there. And I've got one of those. I've got a few of those, as Pete had.
Probably my discard pile.
So, yeah, you've got the goat cards for when the goats are collecting up. And, you know, to move goats on, either one goat or a herd of goats, you have to burn a card to do that. And I have to say, we were doing extremely well, as everybody else has said. And when we came to the end there, I felt a little bit guilty because I did have a summit card. Here it is, the summit. I had that card in my hand at the beginning and I felt a bit guilty because I did burn it. And I was chatting with Dave and Dave was saying, yeah, I had that card as well at the beginning and I feel a bit guilty and burnt it. It's us. We've cost the game and we've worked so hard as a team together. And we've got our man all the way up to the top and we've got all the goats are there as well. And we've drawn them from across the mountain. We've worked so hard. Dave, let's cry together because we have let down the rest of the team. No, we haven't. Because we had just one each. And Hipster King had 3 of these that he lobbed early doors. Don't need them. But anyway, as you know from the Hairy Game Lords, we ain't bitter and we don't keep a grudge.
Oh my days, I'm in real trouble, ain't I?
Oh yeah. Great game. You need to check this out. It is proper good, proper fun. Artwork's great, and there's loads and loads of different replayability in there. Get involved.